Good afternoon, JP2. How's everybody? So you know who I am, Mr. Buck, chef. How are ya? So for the next few weeks, I'll be doing one foods class per week, and I'll do a bread, make a meal. So be expecting that. We'll be posting things on Wednesday. So just go over a couple of things. We go over a few basics. Make sure we're working in a nice, clean, safe environment. So make sure you do a MEES. Really, really important. So get ourselves organized, okay, and be sure to clean as you go. Let's make sure at home that you are making things clean. Make sure the dishwasher's unstacked. Make sure you leave no footprint except that you're going to contribute with making some food, all right? Whichever the recipe will be, but what's really important is you don't leave a footprint. You contribute to your household. That's something I want to focus on, okay? So today we're going to make focaccia bread, all right? Some of you have made it before, some of you haven't. Easy peasy. However, you do need the ingredients, and I do understand that there is a shortage of, yes, yeast. And I have quite a bit of it because, you know, we make a lot of bread and pizza. So with that being said, if you don't have any yeast, when you go out shopping again, look for it. When you find it, buy a lot of it. It's pretty inexpensive. I was in Costco today in Okotoks. They didn't have any. What they did have was lots of flour. So that's one part of it. So flour, yeast, get a lot of it, and then you're good to go. And it's pretty inexpensive, and there's a lot of things we can do with it. So bread, beautiful thing about it is this. You only need yeast, some flour, some water, a little bit of salt, oil, and we're good to go. So let's start now and start with the measurement. Now the recipe I'm going to also send to you, so you'll have the recipe. All right, so what are we going to do first is we're going to measure this. Make sure we put it on 0, and I'm going to count the cups as well. So if you don't have a scale, you can use this. So we're going to have, let me see now, the recipe calls for 500 grams of basic, regular, unbleached, strong flour. So 1 cup, 2 cups, 'So I would say if you're using cups, I'm going to put down, you're going to use approximately 3 cups. Now it's never as accurate as a scale, and we know that. But if you don't have a scale, don't worry, you can use 3 cups, all right? So I've measured my flour, first part. I'm going to go here like this, make a little well, all right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my yeast, which I have here. I'm going to add, it calls for 10 grams. Now 10 grams, let me see if I can measure this again, is about 1 heaped teaspoon, I should say, yeah, 1 heaped teaspoon of this. Let me see where I am. Let me see where I am. This has got to be about 10 grams. Ready? Here we go. Ooh, it's going to be 2 of these. That's right, for pizza. So 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons, 10 grams of yeast. Perfect. Now, let's have a look. 10 grams of salt. And we're going to measure it with a teaspoon. So there's 1 teaspoon, which weighs 6. So let's go about 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Perfect. So we've got 3 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of yeast, and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So now, what's the next ingredient we got to add? 1 more ingredient. That's the beauty about bread. All right, is we're going to add the water. Now, I'm going to make a well here. Now, before we do this, look, mix this here like this on one side and mix that yeast on this side. All right, yeast and salt don't like each other. All right, so here we go. So we're going to go in here. Now, this water needs to be cold. Remember, when you measure water, all right, measure it and then look down at the side. Now, that's a little over. I'm close to 400 milliliters of water, but the recipe calls for 360. So I'm going to leave some back. All right, so here we go. Going to measure this in here like this. Leave some out, so I don't want it too sloppy. Let me see, perfect. Right, and I'm going to add about 1.5 tablespoons. I've got olive oil. What do you reckon? Is that good? Good. Right, here we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix it. Now what I'm going to do is, you guys, if you don't have this mixer, which is fine, okay, and a hook, all right, then you can just go in there and you can start kneading it. Now remember to knead as much as you can in the bowl. Once it starts coming together, then you can knead it on a counter. Now, if it's sticking, add oil. Try to avoid adding flour. And the reason why is because it will change the consistency of the dough. So here we go. I'm going to pop this in here like so. All right, now you can see this because my other shot, you couldn't see it. So as we go with the lessons, I'll get better at doing this. So these are just growing pains, guys. So anyway, here I go. So I'm popping this in here, clip it in. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up. Okay, now understand, when you use these things, you need to supervise them because they move around. All right, keep your fingers away from them. If you don't have it, again, you can use your fingers. Just as good to knead it, right? So I'm going to come in here. Now I'm starting it slowly, and the reason why, if you start quickly, this thing, you're going to be wearing it. All right, so we're going to go in here, and I'm going to start to bring this dough together. Okay, this will take a few minutes. All right, now this is where we can do our mise. All right, so we can put this all away. All right, and we can clear up as we go. All right, and then this dough should come together. All right, so you can keep an eye on it. I'll get a spatula and you can knock the sides down on it. Okay, and we can turn this dough out. All right, now. So today we're going to do focaccia bread. My next lesson, because remember next week we've got Easter. What I'm going to do for next week, you're going to get focaccia bread. We're going to do, and I'm going to show you how to make a really cool Ukrainian sweet bread you can have over Easter. Now, one of the advantages with having bread, and that's why bread's so good, is that it freezes really well. You can freeze the dough like this, and you can freeze the loaves of bread. So either way, when you make a batch of it, there's two options for you to freeze. You can freeze the dough. When it comes back, proof it and bake it, or you can bake the bread. So those are your two options. Okay, let's have a look in here. Right, let's have a look. All right, here we go. Now, I'll just get this out, and I'll show you the consistency of it. It's lumpy. Oh, this one's good. This one's a little better than the batch I made before. Okay, the original one. It's sticky. I actually prefer that. So, that being said, because it's sticky, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of flour on here. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to knead it. Okay, start to knead it like this. All right, I didn't add flour, and the reason why is it will just change the consistency of it. It's an Italian bread. It's focaccia. It's delicious. Okay, great to have with, you can make a sandwich with it. You can have it with, all types of stuff. So it's excellent. All right, so you can keep kneading this. I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to pop this back in here. All right, I want it nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. So I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to pop this in, just like so. I'm going to lift this up. Okay, and here we are. Okay, so I'm going to let that go for a few minutes. So let's have a look to see what we have now. Okay, so we'll turn this off, put this down, unhook the hook. Okay, we should get this nice and smooth. This batch here, I added a little more water that first batch, so I actually prefer it. It's a little more sticky. So, doing this nice and smooth now. What I'm going to do is now give this another little knead. Just bring this together. Okay, perfect. So, this is a kilo of flour. It's quite a lot. Okay, so, and we can, as we progress through this, when we do pizza dough, for example, when we do pizza dough, I think we use 250 grams. So this is a 500 gram lot of flour. Okay, so in here, we've got, in this batch in here now, we've got a kilo. That is going to be a kilo of flour. And I'm going to pop that in here like this. All right, and I'm going to pop it in the fridge, and we're going to work on it tomorrow. All right. And like I said before, what you guys remember, you can leave this, if you're making it in one day, this only needs an hour and it will grow to about twice its size. Okay, so tomorrow I'm going to show you how to make a Ukrainian bread, which is a sweet bread for Easter, and we're going to finish off this focaccia. Okay, and these recipes will all be posted on Wednesday. I'm excited to see these recipes with you guys. I do miss you. Anyway, this is what it is. So here we go. All right. And once we get going on this, I'll get better at this and you can contact me. And, you know, I love to have dialogue with any of you. And if you've got any questions, always, you know, it's wide open. You know my email, jbuck@redeemer.ab.ca. All right. See you tomorrow. Good morning, JP2, April 3rd. How are you? We're going to finish off this focaccia bread today. But first, what we're going to do is, let's do some happy birthdays. Right. Mr. Paccioni, give me the list. So, first of all, a couple of shout outs. Ramsey, you're in my home room. How are you? Happy birthday, March 30th. Shout out for you. Georgia Carter, how are you? Should have known this. April 1st, of course. Happy birthday. All right, and today for April 3rd, or April 2nd, yesterday, Justin Going, happy birthday. Avery Watterson, you're April 1st as well, happy birthday. Justin Going, happy birthday. Sebastian Panzia, happy birthday. Evangeline Frostad, happy birthday. And Lauren Gunson, happy birthday. I hope you guys have a wonderful day today. Do something fun, all right? It's your special day. Also, on the weekend, we have April 4th, we got Amelia McDougall, happy birthday. We've got Blake Vidigan on Saturday. Blake, happy birthday. Say hi to your sister and your brother. All right. And lastly, we've got Caleb McInnes. And again, happy birthday. So here we are. We are shaping our focaccia bread. So it was in the fridge, pulled it out. And then what I'm going to do is, I've already got it placed up, but I'm just going to shape it. Okay. It will be in a ball, cut it in half. Okay, just like it is, right? And then I'm going to put dimples in here like so, just like that. And this needs to proof again. All right, I'm going to shape it a little more, just like that. Okay, all right. So this dough proofed overnight, but you could have it proofed for an hour. All right, pretty straightforward, but you want it to double in size. So this is cold because it's been in the fridge. I'm going to pop. I've got some saran wrap I'm going to put on top so it doesn't dry out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it in a warm place. I'm going to put it over in the counter over there by the window. All right, so I'm going to put that over there. Make sure there's no draft because it does affect how it rises. All right, and you don't want to, you want to loosely put things on the top. Just loosely put it on the top because you want the dough to rise. Okay, so 1 hour. Let it proof, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how to finish it and bake it. All right, guys, welcome back. So here we are. We've got the light finishing touches. This is always the best part because you've done everything now. So you've measured everything, kneaded the bread, you've proofed it, you've knocked it down, and here we are, finishing touches. So as you can see, it's doubled or approximate, which is nice. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I've got a little bit of olive oil. If you don't have olive oil, use regular oil. I'm just going to give it a few more dimples. Whoops, a little sticky here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil on. You can use a brush, but I actually find my hands better. Just the brush kind of pushes the dough down. Now I could just finish her off. There we go. That's what I like. Just put a little bit of oil. I like that little bit of oil in there. Just love it. Okay, so I'm going to do it again here. All right, and I'm just going to go and just put my fingers over it like this. There we are. Okay, here we are. Beautiful. All right, now you can use any herb you want. You could put onions on here, you could put some cheese on here, you can put olives on here, but we're going to use rosemary. Okay, so here's some rosemary. There we are. I like to sprinkle it in my hands first, so I know what I've got. Okay, and I'm just going to go and sprinkle this. Fun. There we are. Okay, so I'm going to put this in here like this. Just going to finish that all off. Very good. And the last part, I'm going to put some salt in here. Now, I've got some nice, coarse sea salt. If you don't have it, use regular salt. Nice, big, crunchy, bigger pieces of salt is ideal. So you just taste that, get that nice little crunch in there, you know, of that little blast of sea salt. Okay, just really nice. Okay, so I've got that in here like this. The oven has been preheated. Be mindful of that. Okay, and we're going to put it in at 425 degrees. You're going to pop it in the oven. I put it on there for like 20 minutes. Okay, and you want to put it in for you in the middle of the oven. Okay, so here we go. Just going to pop those in there. Make sure they're at the back of the oven. And remember, if you're looking, you're not cooking, so don't open it. Right? Leave it 20 minutes, okay? So I will see you in 20 minutes. Perfect. Okay, here we are, back again. So 20, this one's been a little bit longer, like 22 minutes. Towards the end of the baking, you can have a look. At the beginning, do not open it because that cold air will stop it rising as much. But anyways, it's been about 22 minutes, and we're just going to go have a look here. Okay, make sure we've got some nice oven mitts here. We're going to get these out. Okay. Perfect. And how about that? Nice and easy focaccia bread. Okay. Now, you want to get these out, let them cool off for like a minute or two. Okay. And then just get them out and put them on the cooling rack. Okay. All right. Perfect. Lovely, fresh focaccia bread. Beautiful. All right. Enjoy that. Bon appetito. Till next time.